Good morning, welcome to the stream. It's time to go over some charts. It is Friday, the last day, well, one more day, I guess Monday will be the last day of the month, but pretty much the end of the month, so mostly be looking at setups for next month, but we're just going to see how everything's closing. So starting with Aussie CAD here, just in order. So big bearish day going into this zone. We talked about yesterday. The pair is bearish, way below this moving average, so obviously looking at more shorting positions for next month. We'll see if price breaks this zone today, and then if it does, I mean, that's definitely a good sign that it's going to keep heading lower and break below price here. If we're looking at a higher time frame here, maybe check out the weekly, see if there's some good wicks. So kind of right here will probably be the monthly target for next month. So yeah, we'll see how this closes today, and then Monday, last day of the month, start looking for big short positions and targeting this big area down here. Moving on, Aussie Swiss. So these Aussie pairs headed down, obviously. So one of my favorite pairs, Aussie Swiss. I like all the Swiss pairs. They just move very consistently. So yeah, broke this main area like we talked about yesterday, retested a bunch of times, and then now's the sign to head back down. So that's perfect price action when price comes back, retests the zone to make sure, yep, this is a fair price, perfect, we're gonna head lower. And that's exactly what it's doing. So it's now, and will most likely continue to head lower. So for next month, I mean, it kind of is in its own all-time low right here on the month, actually. So we can't really figure out where it's going to, exactly where it's going to most likely head to next month, but we can see its normal range. So the range for Aussie Swiss right now is about 300 pips a month. So it is likely that it will move roughly 300 pips next month downwards. So, but we'll go over that, monthly end. But for right now, yeah, no trades or anything. It's nice to see this just breaking its zone here, printing a nice bearish candle, and this is a textbook move. Like, this was basically the entire month. Yeah, July 4th this started, and technically the 3rd was the Monday. So basically the entire month it just moved steadily down. Not a crazy huge move. It hasn't moved its full monthly range or anything, but so it's been a slower month, but it's been consistent, and so I'd much rather just have consistent. I'd rather consistently win than, have crazy losses. So that is Aussie Swiss. Aussie yen, wow. So it actually dipped really, really low. It's still bullish. It's above this moving average, but today it's dipped really, really low. I guess overnight it would have been. And it hit its monthly low. So this is a 500 pip range, which is its normal monthly range, and it actually hit it. Like, as of yesterday, it was, still 150 pips out pretty much, but then last night it apparently came down, hit the 92 level, and is now rejecting. So this is cool. I'm going to see how, I'm curious how Monday closes, because if Monday closes if this candle closes like this today, and then Monday closes a bullish engulfing candle, then that might mean that this is on its way back up, because this is a clear sign that it tried to test lower levels and is struggling. I mean, there's still 8 hours left on this candle, so we don't know how it's going to close, but you can see as soon as price hit this 92 zone, some bulls came in. So we'll see if they overcome the rest of today, and then if they do, it might be headed back up. But obviously we'll just wait till Monday, and then maybe early on in the week wait for a little bit more confirmation. But this might be switching now just because of this huge dip and then rejection. So we're gonna watch that. That's Aussie yen. Aussie Kiwi. So yeah, last 3 days just moving down, slow and steady. Is now sitting below the moving average. Just goes back and forth, so the moving average doesn't really mean a ton on this pair, but because it doesn't really trend. It mostly just ranges between, you know, like I think 110 and like 105. So yeah, this low here kind of thing. So this is pretty much the entire range of this pair right here. So doesn't really trend. But anyways, it's moving down. It's fighting a level here currently. So see if it breaks that. Overall, I am short the Aussie pairs other than Aussie Yen. So if anything, I'd be looking to short this pair, but would wait for it to find some significant movement downwards. I want to see some real bearish movement downwards. I want to see it break this zone because this held it before. So it's got to break this and then, you know, target something like this. There's nothing really in between here, so, you know, this is a good 200 pips if it breaks this area and there's significant bearish momentum, which there hasn't really been yet. This pair has mostly just been ranging, so it's not really worth taking any trades or anything on Aussie Kiwi. Oh, Aussie dollar. Okay, so broke this zone, which was holding it up, took two big bearish candles and is now broken it. There is an area here which it is just coming into now and getting rejected, so we'll see if it breaks this area. Again, I am short the Aussie pairs. I do think that this is still bearish, even though the dollar was losing strength, which pushed it up recently, but I think overall it is bearish. It is now below this moving average, so that also tells you it's bearish. So we're going to wait for this. Next month I'll probably pull out some shorts, some short positions, but I want to wait and then start targeting monthly. I like targeting the monthly moves, so I don't do a lot of trading. I'll analyze the charts every day and break them down for you guys and for myself to make myself more disciplined and understand things more, but usually I really only trade, like take actual positions on the beginning of the month, because I like to break down the charts on the monthly outlook and then target the full monthly ranges. So like this range was about 370 pips, so I want to get most of that. So that's how I personally trade, but you can still break down the charts and, you know, analyze them for other people and see if they can come up with their own setups that suit their strategies, their own risk rewards, all that. So that's Aussie dollar. I'm going to wait for it to break this zone and then target lows for next month. Okay, so Aussie 200 index, very interesting. So this is not monthly high anymore, so just disregard this line here. But so it's clearly been bullish, you know, very weak bullish candles, but bullish nonetheless. Yesterday it did have a huge daily candle and then rejected, so now I kind of created this zone here, so we're just gonna see if it keeps rejecting this zone. But obviously I drew this big zone because this was where I thought it was headed, but it might not make it there, so just delete this here. So I am still looking to short this. Eventually it's going to head lower. It's unbelievable to me that it's continuing this, you know, tiny consistent movement upwards with skyrocketing interest rates, with economic slowdown, with all of that happening. This is still somehow trickling up. Just shows how kind of corrupt everything is. But anyways, I'm gonna wait for this to, you know, obviously start heading down, but then I'm going to need it to break an area like this. I need it to break a significant support area downwards, and by then this moving average will have caught up. So I'm basically just watching this, watching it make new highs, which it should not be doing, but it is what it is. So we just gotta wait. We'll see if it breaks this mini zone that I created or this upward zone up here. We'll see, all in good time. And then we will, you know, hopefully can delete all this. Hopefully some, you know, bears come in. Like, it'd be nice if today was a bearish engulfing candle. Obviously it tried, but then is now getting rejected, so it tells me it still wants to go up. But I mean, no rush on this. We'll wait till next month. We'll see if some good bearish momentum comes in to maybe set up positions and target the full monthly range. But definitely got to be patient with this one, because as much as I want to short it, you'll pay the price if you do it now, and it's not good. So not doing that yet. So waiting on the Aussie 200 index, waiting for more bearish confirmation and trend change. So CAD Swiss, okay, so completed its monthly range movement, is now retracing, but seems to almost be consolidating. It's not really. The first few days of the retracement were good, and now it came back down, is retesting this zone, so it doesn't really know what it wants to do. I would consider it not retracing anymore, so I would not bank on that. I would just wait and see kind of what it does now for next month. With all the other Swiss pairs, I'm looking to short it. The range on this is about 375 pips. No, sorry, 275 pips. So that's what I'm going to be looking for next month. And so it just comes down to kind of where price is sitting at the start of the month. If it looks like it's not going any higher, then you start targeting the lows. So I mean, this is obviously a previous zone. I would look for price to come into this zone, reject it, and then I would start targeting lows for the month. But that's CAD Swiss, nothing too exciting yet. We got to wait it out. CAD Yen, holy, all kinds of zones, so probably delete these here. So it did complete its full monthly movement here, then did do a perfect retrace, so that's great. I am looking to buy this, not yet but soon. I think it's proven itself. It's obviously very bullish. It did this massive bullish move, pulled back, retraced, is now coming back down into the zone, retesting this support zone it's created and rejecting itself. So I think it does want to head back up. I think looking for next month, I think we're gonna have some good buys here. I wouldn't take a trade, but if I would, it would look something like this. Keep your stop out of this zone here, and then target this previous area up here or higher. I believe the range on CAD Yen's about 500 pips. Yeah, about 530. It's down about 500 already. So, but there is one thing to be considered about. This is at a previous monthly high area. So back in October of last year, this is as high as it made it. So this 110 area is significant resistance. So we'll see if it can break this 110 area. I would say most likely it will start heading back up and then really struggle with this area again. Don't know if it'll break it, because again, it is significant previous resistance, but if it does break it, then it's obviously going to head much higher. But if it doesn't, it might start ranging a little bit. We don't really know. I think it's still obviously bullish. I think buying positions are your best bet. I would just wait and see how those play out. But that is my take on CAD Yen. Okay, so Swiss Yen. Okay, so it broke down. Yeah, it's not quite in its back in its bullish momentum. I thought it would have pushed up higher yesterday and hit this 164.5, but instead the bears came in, absolutely took out this little zone here, and now it's consolidating back on this support area that it created, which is also good. Doesn't always have to head up higher. Sometimes it will head lower first and then find its retest its resistance one more time. This gives buyers more opportunity to get in on the pair too. So this is just kind of how smarter money trades. They'll wait for a better position to fill, like down here in this area where there's lots more fills, to get a much better price. Why would you buy it here when you could buy it down here and then it'll head directly up? So I don't know if it'll head directly up. I don't know if the momentum's coming into the market yet. It might still take some time, but this is a good sign that because it came back down to this zone and now is getting rejected highly, and technically this segment is a higher low than this one, the price is still creating higher lows. So it's still showing it to be bullish momentum. It's just not as significant as it once was because there is pullbacks, but But yeah, that's Swiss yen. It's probably my favorite pair, honestly. I made good money with Swiss yen just by being consistent with it. So look at this. We'll just watch this zone and then wait for the momentum to come back in and then start looking for buy positions next month. This little blue marker here is the end of the month, so don't want to take anything yet, but we will look forward to next month. Dollar index. Okay, so interesting. It's right at the 618 level, so it did its full monthly move here. I have a sip of my coffee. It did its full monthly move here. Now it's retracing, hitting this 618 zone just perfectly. So that's nice to see. Obviously, if you would have taken this retracement trade, which I marked out before, you would have hit it perfectly without any drawdown or anything like that. So, you know, a nice 6R trade right there based on just a retracement. Very, very high reward trade. So, can delete that, I guess. And then, yeah, so next month, I mean, that's what we're basically looking at is for next month. But, so it is bearish. It's below this moving average. It does look to be rejecting this 618 zone after it's retraced. So, I do think the dollar wants to head lower. I think its range is about 3.75. So, you know, next month we're going to be looking at new lows, most likely down here. So that's, yeah. I'll map all this out probably on Monday or Tuesday, probably Tuesday after the month closes. We'll find all of our monthly positions to take advantage of, but as of right now, yeah, it just looks like it's rejecting this area, which is normal, and that's, you know, that's exactly what I thought it would do. After it made its monthly movement down, it's just retracing, and now most likely we'll do something like this and just create a further extension of this movement. You know, the lower lows, lower highs, all the way down to this area starting next month. So that's the dollar index. Oh man, 0.50 index. So I'm really grateful I didn't get in on any trades here. But again, this is another one. I do believe it will start heading down dramatically. It's just, it's not if, it's when. But clearly not yet. So we'll see how today closes. But yesterday did a big bullish candle through this zone, then pulled back into this zone. Now today it's printing another bullish candle. See how it closes because there's still 8 hours. I mean, this could be exactly just like yesterday and pull back dramatically back into this zone. I don't know. I do know it created some resistance here that would obviously have to break. I would like to see, I'm going to set an alert here actually, because I would like to see price, I'll set it at the bottom of the zone. I think this will be a very, very good short, but I think price has to hit this zone first and break this zone. If it breaks this zone, then I think we're good to go. But until then, it's probably just going to keep going up, which it really shouldn't be doing economically. Does not make sense with interest rates and everything like that, but the markets can always be kind of misaligned, if that makes sense, and it can carry on for a long time. They can be not cooperating the way that they should. They can just be basically out of whack for a long time. And with trading, I've learned that I'm most likely right, but I'll be early. Sometimes I'm 3 months early, 6 months early, a year and a half early. So I guess if you think about it, yeah, I'm wrong initially, but then I become right. So that's exactly how it'll be with this. Just gotta wait it out. Wait to enter some shorts. I would do something like this, obviously, but price has to hit this area first. And then we will take some big short positions and finally make some money on this pair that I've been just waiting for, you know, just eyeing up every day. And every day it's just making me mad because it's going through the zone that it should not be going. So yeah, we set our alert. We'll wait till price finally starts breaking low. It could take a couple weeks, could take a couple months. We'll just wait it out, but I promise you this will this will be a very good money maker soon. Euro Aussie ranging now, so obviously struggling with this area, rejected it multiple times. It's now coming back into it and rejecting it, so I don't think this is obviously going to complete its monthly range at all. I think it is a good sign that shows the trend is weakening and most likely switching. So because of where it is in this previous area, you know, back in July of 2020, these were all the monthly highs. So I think because price is back there and back in that, you know, recent history, same prices that it was, and it got rejected before, that's why it's rejecting now. So I do see the, you know, overall trend kind of switching to bearish. Obviously we're gonna have to wait a while. We're gonna have to wait for price to cross over this moving average. We're gonna have to wait for it to break this zone here. So again, waiting. Hurry up and wait. That is trading. So get used to that. The better I've gotten with that, the more money I've made. So it kind of is directly related. So it's okay to be patient, but you still have to be ready. So if this starts breaking lower, starts cracking this zone, then that means the bears have come in. Then you start targeting the full monthly move, which for this is 650 pips. So like in a perfect world, I mean, regardless of the timeline, if price breaks this area and then this moving average, I mean, we're going to short it. And then if it's the start of the month, you could probably get 600-700 pips. So I mean, I don't think that's going to happen yet, but maybe, you know, maybe actually not August, but September. So kind of just future pacing myself here. You know, that could be a massive September trade, depending on how next month plays out, obviously. But you know, that's Euro Aussie. There's not much happening. It's mostly just ranging. I would not buy it. I think it's struggling with the zone too much. I think it had massive bullish momentum, and I think it's phasing off now. This moving average is getting closer and closer and closer. It's having a tough time with this 166 level. Hasn't broken it since early May. So that is Euro Aussie. Euro CAD making its way back down. So yeah, just like Euro Aussie, you can see that the momentum is shifting. So there's no clear signs yet, but this is about to test this moving average probably next week. So you know, you see yesterday big bearish candle, today tiny bull candle, almost just retesting this little area here. So you can see that the momentum is shifting for these euro pairs. Just want to make sure the stream's still good. Yep, everything's good. You can see that, yeah, the momentum shifting. So again, we'll wait on Euro CAD. We'll wait for it to break this moving average. We'll make, you know, ideally would break below all these lows here. You know, break below this 143.8, these 143 level, break below this moving average, then you're clear to short it, and you can make 500 pips if you just hang out and wait for the market set up. You catch the top of the trend change instead of rushing or trying to, you know, trying to buy it right now when it's like clearly, if anything, it's still pulling back. Even if this is still bullish, it's still pulling back. The bulls haven't re-entered, so there's no point in buying this yet. There's probably no point in buying it at all, to be honest. I do think it's switching trends, so gonna wait on Euro CAD to see what sets up for next month, but most likely looking to short it. Euro Swiss, again, my favorite Swiss pairs. I'll delete these alerts here. So very bearish, below this moving average, completed this nice monthly move. I took advantage of most of this move. It's nice 250 pips right there, just clean, just consistent. And so now you can see this bullish candle, bullish engulfing yesterday. So most likely we'll head up to this zone and then maybe higher, we don't know, we'll just wait. What I'm going to do is wait for Euro Swiss to keep heading up. I want to see a few bull days for sure, and either get rejected at this zone or anything in between if it creates a new zone. And then as soon as it finds rejection or some resistance at again, this area, or its own new area, maybe like right here or here, anywhere, it doesn't really matter. You wait for that rejection to set up, and then you target another 250 pips, because that is the monthly range. If we look here in the ATR, the monthly range is 249 pips. So yeah, you target 250 pips for next month. So it would be like something like this, let's say. Oops. You know, this would be like next month trade, and you get your full 250 pips. It'd be something like this. Obviously you have to wait for that to set up, but that is next month's trade. Just kind of sitting there, you just let it set up. As we've seen with the other euro pairs like Euro Aussie, Euro CAD, it is losing momentum, so that means the euro overall is most likely headed downwards, which also is good for the Euro Swiss. So it just shows that everything's correlated and moving in the right direction. So if you needed more confirmation to short this, there's that. But yeah, I would wait for it to hit its own resistance zones and then start taking shorts and trying to capitalize on the full monthly movement. There's no sense in only getting like, 20 pips, 30 pips when you can get 300, or 250, which is the full monthly range. Like, you should get at least 200 pips on these moves, and then you basically you get more pips and way less risk, because you're not taking as many positions. Like, you can take one position and get 200 pips, or you can take 10 positions and get 200 pips. But there's a chance that 9 of those positions go heavily against you, and then it does not work. So less is more with trading. So just wait it out, wait for price to come to this area, let's say, set itself up, wait a few days, make sure it's really significant. I want to see a bunch of rejections on this zone. I want to see price come up, reject it 3-4 times, have a nice bearish engulfing candle, and then I'm going to enter my long or my short monthly position. So that is Euro Swiss. Euro Pound also coming down, also bearish. So good correlation between all the euro pairs. It's now testing this zone just about. This is a very significant zone, so I'd be looking for more shorts. Probably something like this starting next month, and especially if it breaks the zone, I'm looking for deeper shorts. So you look at these main areas here on the weekly. This is a significant area, so that's probably where I would target. It's probably within the monthly range as well. So yeah, definitely. So that would be Euro Pound, but again, that's next month. It's got to break this zone, and then we'd be looking to take more short positions. Euro Yen, also a little interesting. So broke this area and then touched its full monthly range, which is about 600 pips. This is the exact same thing as Aussie Yen did last night. So big movement down, but got rejected. So now it's creating its own zone here. So this might be kind of the low. Not sure. Just have to wait and see what happens when the other, when the bullish momentum enters the yen pairs again. But yeah, this is you just gotta wait for this. But this is interesting because it did touch its full monthly range and reject it. So could be a good sign, but just have to wait. There's not really, I would not short this pair by any means. I would not short any of the yen pairs because they are super bullish. Like I think you are crazy to short this at any time. I understand that it is making lower lows, but I mean, at any time this will resume and it'll go 500 pips up. So you do not want to be on the wrong end of that. So I would again just wait. But we'll see how this zone functions now. Today, tomorrow, and into next week, or sorry, today and then into next week, and then we'll see if the zone really holds. And if it keeps rejecting, then that means buyers are probably setting up to take position for next month, and hit those big monthly movements. So we will jump on that if it makes sense to do so. We'll just have to wait. That's Euro Yen. Euro Kiwi, same thing as Euro Aussie pretty much. So is made some resistance here. Is now looking to head back up, retest this zone. I don't think it's going to break this area, this 180 level. So again, this is a trade that, or this is a pair that will produce big money, but you have to wait. So as the trend switches from bullish to bearish, you can make a lot of money, but you have to wait for the trend to actual change. So, you know, I need price to come back into this zone, reject it. I need this moving average to catch up more. Ideally, it would be something on, this is on the 4 hour, so I would need price to come below this 4 hour moving average. Right now, it's still sitting above, so I need price to come below that, and that goes for multiple time frames. So I would need price to, you know, get below the 1 hour, which it actually was. Now it's just above, but you can see there's more prices below the 1 hour than there was before, so that's a good sign. But I need price to come back up to this area, because that's where it obviously wants to go. You can see the bulls are headed there. They want to go back up to it and test that 180 level, so let them test it and then get rejected, and then watch price slip below this 4 hour moving average, this 1 hour moving average, and that shows that the momentum downwards is starting to set in, because the momentum upwards is ending. So that's Euro Kiwi. That I'm waiting. That might take a few weeks. That's no problem, because once that sets up, we'll be good to go. Because if you look on, you know, the weekly or the monthly, again, huge. You can see these massive monthly wicks back in the end of 2020.